Welcome to this special tutorial today. Today we are going to learn how to do the knotted half double crochet stitch. I have no claim on this stitch. I do not claim any rights to it. I will, however, give creditation to the book that I took it from, and it is called the New Crochet Stitch Dictionary. And it is by Nele and Eveline Hetty Burkart. I am introducing this stitch on behalf of the Yarny Fiber Sisters, and if you are ready to get started, I'm going to clean off the craft table and I'll come back and show you the yarn and the hook that I'll be using today. Today for this tutorial, I am using some leftover Red Heart yarn. It's in the color teal, but in the camera it looks blue. The hook that I'm using is an H hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook. You can use any yarn, any hook size, as long as the hook works well with the weight of yarn that you've chosen for your project. When it comes to making the knotted half double crochet stitch, your foundation chain count can be an even number or an odd number. It does not matter. What does matter is once you have the desired length of your foundation chain, you need to add one additional chain to act as your turning chain. Let me show you. For this tutorial today, we are going to create a 10 chain for our foundation. Now remember, the loop on your hook does not ever at any time throughout your project count as a chain or a stitch. Now to make a chain, you're going to wrap the yarn around your hook. That's called yarn over. You're going to pull that yarn through the loop that was on the hook, and when you do that, you have successfully created a chain. Let's do that again. Yarn over, pull it through the loop on the hook, and you now have your second chain. 1, 2. Let's do that again. Yarn over, pull through. You now have 3 chains. We want a total of 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We now have a foundation chain of 10. We want to add one more to count as our turning chain. So yarn over, pull through. We now have a total of 11 chains on our foundation chain. To create the knotted half double crochet, the stitches that you'll need to know how to make are a single crochet and a half double crochet. To get started, we're going to take a look at our foundation chain. We're going to skip the first chain because, again, that one chain right there is going to count as our turning chain. So we're going to be working in the second chain from the hook. Now, if you'll look, there are 3 strands that make up each chain. You have the strand on the bottom, you have the strand in the middle, and you have the strand on the top. When we are creating our stitches, we're going to insert our hook into the chain between the strand in the middle and the strand on the bottom. We're going to start making single crochet stitches. So in order to do that, we're going to go to 1, 2, our second chain from the hook, and inserting between that middle strand and the bottom strand, we're going to put our hook in. You know you have done it right when you have the top 2 strands on the top of your hook, and when you separate them, you can see the hook in between. It creates a little V-stitch. To complete the single crochet, you're going to yarn over and pull that yarn through the chain. You now have 2 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull your yarn through those 2 loops, and you have successfully created a single crochet stitch. So now you've got your chain 1 on the end here. This is this odd looking little piece right here. That's your chain 1. And here is your first single crochet. Let's do that again. So we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, and we're going to go right into the area between the middle and the bottom strand. Pull it through, yarn over, pull through again, and we now have 2 single crochets. All right, we're going to do that again. We're going to insert between the middle and the bottom strand of the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull it through. We've got 2 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull it through. We now have a chain 1 over here, 1, 2, 3 single crochets. Okay, we're going to continue making single crochets all the way down the row. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so you can see this really well. All right, now, if you're new, I know it's hard making these stitches on a foundation chain because you have nothing to hold on to. Just hold your project the best you can. Once you get more made and you start adding rows, it's going to get easier because you'll have something to hold on to. So just hold it however you have to. Sometimes when I'm doing mine, I'm holding the part I've already worked and the part that I am working until I get it big enough that I've actually got something to hold on to. All right, so let's continue making single crochets all the way down this row. So we're going to be making our 4th single crochet, and again, you just insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. All right, let's continue doing that until we have 10. So this is going to be 5, and you can see I'm holding both the part I've worked and the part I'm working on to make these stitches since I don't have a lot to hold on to. All right, now let's do our 6th single crochet. And now 7. And 8. Just pulling through those 2 loops. And now we're going to go into the 9th chain. Pull up that loop, yarn over, pull through both. We now have 9 single crochets, and we're down to the last one. We're going to treat it just like we've done the rest of them. We're going to go right between that middle and bottom strand, yarn over and pull up a loop. We've got 2 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. I'm just tightening my tail there. We have 10 single crochets. This is the start of the knotted half double crochet. All right. We're going to chain 1, just like we did at the beginning. So chain 1, remember, yarn over and pull through. A chain 1 is done the same way you make a chain. So now we've increased our row height, so we can now turn our work, and we're ready to start row 2. On row 2, we're not going to do an actual double crochet. A knotted half double is making half of the double crochet. So in order to make that half double, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the stitch right under those top 2 loops that we've created. You can see the strands. Yarn over, pull that yarn through, and you now have 3 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those. And that is half of a double crochet. And in crochet, it is referred to as a half double crochet. So we're going to continue doing this all the way down the row. So let's make another half double crochet, which is half of a double crochet. All right, so we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. We now have our second half double crochet. Going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert into the hook, yarn over and pull through, 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, yarn over, insert into the next stitch. Now I'm going to show you something. When I push mine through, I keep my working yarn on the top. So my hook is kind of coming underneath the working yarn. Working yarn is the yarn that's attached to the skein that I'm working with. It's attached to this. Okay. When I do that, all I've got to do is reach up and grab that yarn to pull it through. But if you're not comfortable, you can insert your hook into that stitch, okay? Have the yarn underneath it, behind it, so that you have to wrap it over to pull it through. It's whatever you feel comfortable. And then of course you've got your 3 loops, so you just yarn over and pull through. I always say, you do what makes you feel comfortable and confident in making your stitches. So yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch, and again, I push my hook underneath the working yarn, so all I've got to do is come back and slide back through that stitch and just grab that yarn, and I've got it to create my 3 loops. Then yarn over and pull through. Okay, let's make the next one. Yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch. If you're not comfortable, you can put your hook above the working yarn so that you've got to wrap it around the hook to pull through. You've got your 3 loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert into the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3, yarn over, and pull through all 3. We are down to the last stitch, and we're going to work it just like we've been doing the others. But if you'll notice, it looks kind of funny here because you're back to your original chain 1. All right, so you're going to yarn over. You want to make sure that you've got 2 loops on the top. This is one strand, or strand, excuse me. This is one strand, and this is your second one. Here's your bottom one. So we're going to go in right here and push that through. And when we do, turn your hook over, you can see that you've got 2 strands, 1, 2. You separate them, and you've got your hook in between. So you know you've grabbed it correctly. Yarn over, pull up your loop, you've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And you've completed that last half double crochet. Okay? And this is your knotted half double crochet stitch. Now you're going to do just a 2-row repeat to continue finishing your project in the knotted half double crochet stitch. I'm going to work 2 more rows with you. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. We're going to come right back into the same stitch that we did our chain 1 in. We're not going to yarn over because we're going to make a row of single crochets. So we're going to go right into that stitch. We've got our 2 strands on the top. We're going to yarn over, pull that working yarn through. We have 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both. And that's a single crochet. Let's do it again. Insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both. And we're going to continue making those single crochets all the way down the row. So you work making your single crochets as I am working to finish this row as well. And this will take us to the end of row 3. And we'll have half of our knotted half double crochet completed, because to create the knotted half double crochet, you have to have a row of single crochets and then a row of half double crochets. And we're down to the last stitch. Again, it looks a little funny. It's kind of slanted, but you want to make sure you're entering in. And if you look, here's your top strand, there's your middle strand, there's your bottom strand. You want to go right in here between the middle and the bottom, and you'll know you've got it right when you've got 2 strands on the top. Okay, yarn over, pull it through. You've got your 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through both. And you've completed another row of single crochet. All right, we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work. And now we're going to work half double crochets. So to do a half double, we've got to yarn over before we enter the hook into the stitch. Now that we've yarned over, we're going to go into that first stitch. We've got our 2 strands on the top like we should have. We're going to yarn over and pull that working yarn through. We now have 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And we've completed another half double. Let's do it again. Yarn over, insert into the stitch, and you can see your stitches. If you pull your work apart, you can see those stitches. You can see where to go in. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Okay? So let's go into that next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over and pull that yarn through all 3. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And now you're just going to keep making those half double crochets all the way down the row. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we're just going to keep doing that till we get down to the end. And at the end of each row, depending on how many chains you created, you should have the same number. So for example, in this one, I did 10. So at the end of each row, I should have 10 single crochets and 10 half doubles. All right, we're down to the last stitch again. See again how it's kind of coming down at a slant. It looks funny compared to the rest of them, but you can look. You've got your top strand here, your middle strand here, and your bottom strand is down here. We're going to go inside that stitch like we've been doing. And there again, you've got your 2 strands on the top, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And you've now completed a row of half doubles. So now you have a complete set of 2 knotted half double crochets, because again, it's consisting of a row of singles, a row of half double. That created your first one. Then you did another row of singles and another row of half doubles. So you have a total of 2 rows of knotted half double crochet, but it takes 4 rows to create that, 2 rows to create 1 complete half knotted double crochet. A row of single crochet, a row of half doubles, a row of single crochet, a row of half doubles. Let's do 2 more rows together. We're going to chain 1 to act as our turning chain, which increases the height of our project. Then we're going to turn. We're going to go right into that same stitch that our chain 1 is on. We're going to insert in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both to complete a single crochet. And we're just going to keep making single crochets all the way down this row. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through both. Insert hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both. And we're just going to keep making these single crochets all the way until we get to the very end of this row. And now we're going into that last stitch. And again, we want to go right in the center of it. And we've got 2 strands on top. So we know we're good. And complete that single crochet. And we've created another row of single crochet. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, and now we're going to complete the knotted half double crochet by doing our row of half doubles. So yarn over, go right into that same stitch that the chain 1 is on, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, whoops, I'm so sorry. You have to yarn over first, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we're just going to keep working down this row, creating half double crochets. And we're now down to the last stitch. We're going to yarn over. Again, we're going to go right into the center of that stitch. Make sure we have 2 strands on top, which we do. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we've completed another row of half doubles. So you're going to continue to do the knotted half double, doing a row of single crochet and then a row of half doubles. And you can see when you complete that row of half doubles, see how it's got this little texture sticking out? And that's where it gets its name of the knotted half double crochet. So continue working. I'm going to work up a few more rows, then I'll come back and show you what I have. Welcome back. I have worked up a few more rows, and as you can see, we have our little swatch of knotted half double crochets. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial today. If so, please be sure and give me a thumbs up, letting me know that you like this tutorial. Also, I would love to have your comments on what you think of this stitch, what you plan on doing as a project with this stitch, and always please be encouraged to go to my About page, grab my email, and send me a picture of your completed work. I love seeing what you're making. Be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, make your own joyful creations, and above everything else, be kind to one another and be kind to yourself. And I will see you at the craft table when we come back together for the next stitch or the next project.